I am Gail Johnston, Assistant Head Academic. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the S4 Options event. At this time of year, I look forward to inviting those in S4 along with their parents to an Options Information Evening held in Carlton Turrets Hall. In the extraordinary situation that we find ourselves in, we're adapting in more ways than one at Wellington. Google Classroom has taken off, virtual parents' evenings are taking place, and the option process too is now online. Thank you to all S4 students for participating in the preliminary higher subject choice survey via Microsoft Forms. At Wellington, there are several unique opportunities. The first is the opportunity to study 8 subjects at National 5 level over 2 years in S3 and S4. By selecting 8 National 5 subjects to be studied over 2 years in S3 and S4, we can ensure that pupils have depth and breadth of subject knowledge and can maximise their educational experience. This also gives a greater selection of options when pupils are required to narrow their subject choice at the end of S4. All pupils are encouraged to choose 5 hires. By enabling pupils to have such breadth at National 5 with 8 subjects by the end of S4, pupils again have a wider choice. The second unique opportunity is that each year S5 have a bespoke curriculum diagram based upon the combination of subject selection of the majority of the year group. Columns have been drawn up based on a combination of the subject choice as indicated in the subject inquiry, as well as considering set size and staff availability. We do hope to meet the subject preferences of the majority of the year group. However, on occasion, pupils may need to fall upon a reserved choice. Mr. Byers, Head of S5 and S6, will talk to you about subject selection in more detail. The Higher Option Information Booklet is now available for you to view online via the school website, and S4 Information Week is in full swing. Pupils should take this opportunity to talk to their subject teachers and ask any questions that they may have about their higher courses. It is a misconception that a grouping of one particular set of subjects is any more advantageous than selecting breadth, and they should keep options open. You also need to consider the subjects that you enjoy. If you would like further support regarding your subject choices, please be in touch with me for this to be arranged. Mr. McDougall and I will coordinate a meeting to take place. I will now pass you across to Mr. Byers, Year Head of S5 and S6, who will talk to you about the S5 experience as well as the opportunities available to pupils over the next year, which includes specialist UCAS information. Thank you.
Hi everyone, and welcome to my contribution to Wellington's virtual S4 Options event. I'm delighted to be taking over as your son or daughter's year head and look forward to forging the same strong relationship with them as they've enjoyed with Mr. McDougall over the last couple of years. Now, we would expect pupils in S5 to, by and large, take 5 subjects. This means in most cases developing knowledge of subjects in which they've been successful at National 5 through S3 and S4, and certainly for those who wish to obtain a place on a competitive university course, undertaking 5 subjects in S5 is recommended, as many stated entry requirements expect a high level of attainment in one sitting. Now, some students may feel more comfortable studying 4 subjects in S5. This is something that can be discussed during the options choice process. We're happy to do so, and certainly make us aware of that if that's something you're considering. Now, 5th year is often described as the 2-term dash. The first 2 terms of higher are very intense indeed, and it's therefore important that all students hit the ground running. So to this end, we try our very best at Wellington to support our S5 pupils in this endeavour. So we have 4 study classes timetabled as a minimum, plus we have various supported study sessions and operations. So therefore we feel we have ample opportunity to engage with our teachers beyond regular lesson times. There are 3 important considerations when choosing your subjects in S5. Firstly, which career or college, university course might I have in mind? Are there specific subjects required to fulfil entry requirements? And finally, which subjects will give the best possibility of achieving the grades required to make that next step from Wellington to college or onto university? In addition, we mustn't forget that enjoyment is a huge consideration. However, it may be that for some pupils a difficult decision must be reached between choosing something they enjoy more than something that they have better prospects in, for example. So there's a degree of pragmatism involved there. Now, the vast majority of pupils will make an application moving on to UCAS from S6, but there's always a very small number who make the decision to move on after S5. So we have a good variety of experience and advice available within school, from myself to subject teachers and to form tutors. Pupils will get lots of advice about how best to tackle their application or their next steps. In addition, we would encourage personal research by visiting websites of colleges and universities that are of interest. But certainly I would say that what you want to try and do is look at as many as possible, because if you make a decision based on one university website alone, you could be storing up problems further down the line. Every university has its own set of requirements, and therefore it's really important that you do very, very thorough research in order to make the most appropriate choices for your 5th year. Other websites such as the UCAS website, the Good University Guide, the Guardian University Guide, and Which University, all of these websites are great. They give lots and lots of answers to frequently asked questions and lots of insight about student support and quality of teaching and all sorts of different things. And again, they sometimes can serve to supplement what you find on the individual university websites themselves. In addition, in school we have a UCAS evening in June of each year, COVID permitting obviously, where all S6 and any S5 who are seriously considering an application are welcome to attend. Lots of pupils get quite worried about work experience through S5. I would try and reassure you on that. Remember that S5, S6 it's very much a package deal, and we would see that the gathering of work experience in specific areas, especially in things like medicine, vet med, nursing, dentistry and so forth, is very much a gradual and continual process. We must not forget that we must emphasise and prioritise grades over experience in S5, as one, without one, it's pointless having the other, really. So our approach is quite flexible. We would try and encourage you to use holiday times or weekends to do your work experience to try and avoid a negative impact on your academic studies. And certainly, as I said before, not to try and cram too much into S5. The holiday periods and the intervening weeks and months between S5 and S6 are great times. It's a great time to really do your work experience. So all that being said, the options choice process isn't easy. So if you do have any problems or issues or questions, feel free to drop me an email and I'll do my very best to try and answer any questions you have. Bye for now and take care.